So Ypsomed was a Swiss company, or still a Swiss company. And due to our answers to the healthcare problems, we have some growth drivers, and there are 4 growth drivers for Ypsomed. I will explain first a little bit what we are doing, then you understand a little bit why we need at the end of the day benchmarking and collaborations. So one big challenge is self-care. Hospital treatments are quite expensive, and Ypsomed is providing since 10 years solutions for self-care treatment, home self-care treatment. The second thing is biologics, the modern drugs, the new generation drugs. They are highly complex. They have highly complex molecules. So at the end of the day, all these drugs you only can inject. So the old version where you have in the hospital are no longer valid with these drugs. So this is one of our growth drivers. Then we have biosimilars. So in the past, we had, due to IPs, for example, for insulin, only 3 providers. Today, we have about 25. That means the cost for insulin monthly dose in the US is only $45. 3 years or 2 years ago, it was more than $300. So with this, a lot of drugs today only in the Western countries are available, are in the future available for the broad world. And the last thing is digitalization. Especially we are focused on diabetic 1 and type 1. And there we have solutions. They are specific. I come to that in the next slide. So really the big challenge, we have 60% of the adults in the US, they have at the moment chronic diseases. And what for the healthcare system really is a problem is the adherence. So the people, you know, that a little bit lazy, or I feel good, I don't need no longer the treatment. And that's, on a long-term perspective, from a cost perspective, a huge problem for the healthcare system. And what we are providing are 2 product platforms. One is for injections. You see different sizes from insulin. We have about 100 different drugs within these medical devices. And so with this standards, we can, with highly automated production, we can scale up now the production. The second thing is the pump, insulin pump. We are the first company who integrated, you know, the sensors. You see it maybe some of you have some sensors, Libre, for example, and for diabetic 1. Normally, especially for kids, you're using pumps because that's much more stable. And we are the first company they integrated with an app. We have now a closed loop. So, for example, also the parents, they can just the kids. In the past, 2-3 years ago, it was not possible for a kid to go to a birthday party, for example, because you have their cookies and sugar and things like that. And today, that's absolutely normal for parents that with diabetic 1, the kids can also go to kids' parties, school trips, things like that. So this is really a game changer, especially for diabetic 1. So what that means for us, that means that we have to scale up. In the last 3 years, we have a production ramp up of about 300%. And we are expecting within the 4 to 5 years that we go into 1 billion, that we have to increase our production capacity again by 5 to 6 times. So in parallel, we are expanding. So we are built up sites in China, production sites in Germany and in the US, and we are transforming the Swiss sites as well. We are investing in the next 4 years 1.5 billion. So for Airbus, it's not a big deal, I would expect. For us, we are only 2,500 employees. So for us, it's really a big deal. And also, we have to recruit in the next 4 years about 1,000 employees. Also this year, we especially in production, the recruitment was about 1,000 employees. So we have really a path forward, a strong path forward. And to understand our business a little bit, our production is fully automated. One line is producing about 200, 220 pens per minute. And we are doing everything by our own. That's maybe a little bit Swiss style, but that's good for we have everything under control, quality, also for the increase. That has a certain advantage. Regulation, we heard, it's a huge advantage if everything is under control. And yeah, so about 10 million patients every day rely on our products. That means if we have a breakdown in lines, if we have breakdowns in the value chain, then we have a serious problem also in the market for patients. So also all our employees, they know that. So we work in Switzerland everywhere, 7/24, also in Germany, really to bring all these products to the markets. You have also to understand the drug with the medical device is a combined product. So the patient cannot change. So if he has a drug, a specific drug, there is no other drug you can use at even, or the drug is only available in this pen. So for us, it's absolutely important that we are resilient. And at the moment, we are the fastest growing MedTech company in Europe. Also for the next 4 or 5 years, you see it also in our share price. The investors also have some expectations on Ypsomed's growth. So now to come to benchmarking, collaboration, and maintenance. So we are working on 2 fields, to say it this way. So we build factories, 40,000 square meters, 30,000 square meters. We buy these production lines. One production line has a size of about 70 meters. And it's all scalable. We're reorganizing all our organization. We are working strongly on efficiency. You see here OEE. So, but on a certain level, on 80% for 360 days a year, that's the maximum. So we are strongly on that. We have things like lean maintenance program. But on a certain point last year, we were on a point where we said, okay, that's what we can do internally, and we are acquiring or buying lines and recruiting personnel, but also we have to look a little bit on benchmarking beyond, we called it. That's a new program. We found a small network of, I will come that a little bit later, but of 5 other companies, high volume companies, well-known Swiss companies, and we discussed how we can manage different technologies to make benchmarking with different technologies with companies in different industrial fields. So I think one of the most thing is that we all work with a value stream organization. We don't have in the whole company no functional organization like normal companies has, because if you have more than 10 or 20% growth, you need something like startup feeling in the teams at the end of the day. And if you are a big corporate, you will lose that. And then you are not able to achieve growth than more than 10 to 15%. So we changed our value stream. Each production value stream has exactly 2,000 square meters, producing between 60 to 70 million pens a year. They are completely independent. They have everything what they need. So this is a company within the company. And that's why we are scalable at the end of the day. So if you go to the US in the future, or at the moment to China or to Germany, if you come in, it looks like the same facility in Switzerland. Maybe some differences in details, but in general, it's highly scalable. And what we have done afterwards, with collaboration with our benchmarking partners, is we used process mapping. There are specific softwares available. It's also, we are not able to run this software. So it's highly complex and you need experience. So we have some partners, they are doing that. And for us, in our case, we fill it data of about 8.5 billion injection molding parts and also 400 million pens. So we have a process map and really filled up all these data over the last 2.5 years, all the data, failure, scrap rates, all the data you have in a ERP system like SAP, we fill that in. And at the end of the day, each process step now can be used as a benchmark, because normally with scalable organization, the biggest risk at the end of the day is that poor processes or workflows, they will be scaled as well. So as you see, we have now a slot of maybe 1.5 years to really optimize all the small processes, parameters within our workflows, then to achieve our target values and make that scalable over in the US, in China, and in Europe. So with this process map, we sit together with our partners, with our benchmarking partners, and we discussed a little bit also internal. And I would like to show only there are a lot of results out of this, out of discussions, but also some of surprising results on that. That's about process mining. We found out that we have some maintenance teams. They are working not that appropriate than others. So normally you will never find that out. Maybe with Airbus, if you have 12,000 planes up in the air, you have maybe also enough data to find something like this out. And so for us, it was important. And the second thing is we found out, for example, for the Swiss chocolate industry, there's one of our benchmarking partner. This is also a thermal deformation of materials. And they found out, based on our maintenance, that with the cleaning they have at the end of the day, that they can make also improvements on that, because they are working every day only with chocolate. And they do not have the ideas and the experience also from other process industries. The second thing, what we found out, for example, that's now a very good example. You see per month the availability of one of these work streams. And you see then we have over months, within 3-4%, we can achieve exactly the same availability of the lines, the OE. And that was also for us highly, because normally you look only OE of one line, but with this system, we had the possibility to look really to the value stream and evaluate there the numbers within a value stream. And you see as well, also fluctuation afterwards. We had changes there in the teams, and due to you see it exactly what happens after that. If you look only to one machine, you will never find that out. And we sit together also with the partners, benchmarking partners. And so that was also one point they found out, that management changes, especially if they are making too fast, can influence directly the whole workflow. Second thing, we discussed this with Olga as well in Solothurn. with data mining. So we have a highly dynamic thermal production processes. We have about 400 injection molding machines, and each machine provides about 500 data points per second. And in the past, we were, or even now, we are not really able, due to the amount of data, to find really out if for predictive maintenance, if we have to something to do on that. And the problem is there a little bit. We have experience we have a high domain knowledge. We have specialist experts. They're working 20 years only in the same area. And the problem is they becoming a little bit blind, because it's the same tool with the same operator. It's always the same. And now we are able really to look on that with data mining and analyze all these data points. We are collecting at the moment all the data, especially the causality is for us a little bit a problem at the moment. We are working with one of our benchmarking partners. He is doing exactly the same to the same time, only for 4 machines. And then our plan is within the next 3-4 months to find their algorithm, then to ramp that up. So we are there in a learning phase. For us, it's always important here, because I said about chocolate fabrication, famous Swiss chocolate price, they have exactly the same problem with thermal processes, not with plastics, it's more with chocolate. And so for us, it influences us much and gives us really, after 20 years of domain knowledge, always plastic, always pens, a new view on problems and ideas how to solve problems. And for us, it was absolutely important to have this, because with the growth, it's absolutely important that we do not scale our historical problems to all the sites we have. And for us, very important is that we, with this system of benchmarking with partners, we do not have risk of cannibalization, IP stuff, things like that. All the companies you see there, they come from packaging industry, from diagnostic, because for example, PCR technology, they had to fill up 70 million corona tests per month. So they have, at the end of the day, quite the same problems like we have. We have the food industry, chocolate, I already explained, plumbing equipment. Surprisingly, they have the same problem like medical devices. And for us, it's really the point at the moment where we see that influences strongly, especially our experts, that they become new ideas and can work then on new opinions, on internal processes in the, in the injection molding or in the whole process we have at the end of the day. Good. And that's our plan. Here, that's Schwerin, for example. That's the reason why we are highly scalable. It's always 40 to 50 meters, one workflow, one value stream. And as you can see, every second years, also in October, we are opening a new hall. We started already for the next 27,000 square meters and so on. So we are highly scalable, and we are using this to achieve our targets. Okay. Thank you very much.